Hey guys, Dylan from Noble Records. Really excited to present you with the brand new reissue of Dryewater that we did. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this record if you've never heard it or you don't know anything about it, or you're new to the channel, because I talk about this record all the time. We got the shirt, we got these shirts made, and so these are available on our website right now. So that's the record and the t-shirt, and we also have some exclusives that came out this month as well. But man, I am so proud of this record. When I started my label, this was the #1 record. We signed Underground Fire, and then I was like, what's next? And this was the #1 that I wanted to license. And it took me a while to track everybody down and figure out who to license it through and do that negotiation and all that stuff. But we did it, and this reissue is absolutely beautiful. I already opened a copy and listened to it. It's impeccable. I'm going to open another one and show you. This is the clear version. So first of all, let me talk about the band a little bit. Dryewater's a band that started. They kind of started. They were called a couple different things down in Georgia, and then they moved up here to the Charlotte area, North Carolina. And Richard Dry was kind of the driving force. He was a lead singer and guitar player, and just an incredible musician. And then Shay, which was his wife, she played keys and sang some as well. And then they were just a really great tight band. They toured around a lot and played a lot of gigs. And but this album that they made is just incredible. It's hard for me to describe what it sounds like. So I was thinking about it the other day, like, a lot of times when you release an album like this, you say, well, if you like this and if you like that, you're going to love this. That's kind of what everybody does. Because if you never heard it, you don't know anything to go off of. But this is hard to describe like what it's like because it's unique. It doesn't really sound like anything to me. That doesn't sound like, oh, that sounds like Black Sabbath, like all of them do. It doesn't. It doesn't sound like Black Sabbath. It sounds. It's not quite as heavy as Black Sabbath. There's some really good riffs, some really good guitar work, solos, stuff like that. But it does have like the Black Oak, Arkansas. A little bit of the Black Oak, Arkansas feel to it. It does have a little bit of like even like Kansas and Boston, with not quite as ballady, but there's so much of an edge to it too. So I hate to really compare it to anything because it's its own thing. It really doesn't sound like anything else, which is pretty unique in this space. Usually they're like, oh man, that sounds like like Fractured Moonblood is like the Doors and Black Sabbath. That's what I always say because that's exactly what it sounds like. This doesn't sound like anything that I can really think of. But it's just a really well done record, really good. It does have the classic rock sound. I mean, it almost is like if you took Creedence Clearwater Revival, Black Oak, Arkansas, Kansas, and put them in a blender with a little bit of something heavier. I mean, I can't describe it. So, anyways, I think that's a pretty good thing. But it's just been one that's been one of my favorites for a long time. We ended up talking with the family and found the tapes and everything. We took the tapes to Salina, Kansas, where Analog Productions, Acoustic Sounds is, and they did the mastering straight from the tapes. And so I wanted to make this, with Underground Fire, there were no tapes, so we had to do a needle drop, which is fine. With this, since we had the tapes, I wanted to do my best to make it the best possible definitive reissue. The best possible reissue that we can make of this. I wanted to see if we can make it sound better than the original. What I didn't know is that there was an extra song on there. So there's a song called Don't Believe Your Mother, which was an extra song. It was never on the album. I'd never even heard it before. And then there's Set Out on the River, which is a really great jam track on there that kind of got cut short when they made the album. So there's an extra like minute or so of jamming on there, which is pretty cool. So it's an extended version of that. And so even if you have the original, I feel like you should probably get this one. But we wanted to give it the audiophile treatment. I feel like a lot of these hard rock records, obscure records, don't get that audiophile treatment. They just kind of get put out there because most people don't really care. I do. I got a nice sound system. I want to hear it the best it can. And I was like, this... and I told them this when I was reissuing it. I told the band, which Shay is who I licensed it through. I got to sit down and talk to her while we signed the contract and meet her in person, which was really great. But I just said, hey, and this is what I tell everybody that signs a contract with us, I want to present this music the best way possible, because we don't know if it's ever going to get another reissue. And I want to make sure that if my name is on it, it is the best possible version of this album, that it is presented the best it could possibly be. So I'll show you what we did. Now this is a clear version. We also have a black vinyl version as well. So we'll open it up. So if you buy from Acoustic Sounds, Analog Productions, all that stuff, you're familiar with the way that they seal stuff up. It's got the perforated top on it, which is, I love that. It's got the quality record things. It was pressed. Everything was done there at Salina, Kansas. The mastering, and the plating, the pressing, all that stuff. And man, this record sounds so unbelievable. I do think it sounds better than the original. The jackets we did at Stout, and I'll show you those in a minute. But anyways, got the quality record pressing sticker on there, and then the perforated top just kind of opens like this. And let's check it out. So this is the jacket. Like, if you know Stout and jackets, this is the thick jacket, the thick tip on. You can see like the reflection of the line right here. This is like the old school jackets, you know. And that's what I wanted to make it feel like an old school thing. I didn't want it to feel like a new record. It's beautiful. I mean, it really is so thick and quality. Just quality. Look at the spine. These jackets cost about twice as much as a normal jacket costs. So like, shoot, I don't have anything around me. But like a new reissue, you know, the jackets are probably these are probably twice as expensive as a normal one. But again, I love these jackets. When I get like a really good quality reissue with this jacket, I'm like, man, that's nice, you know. So anyways, and then I designed this insert. So this is the insert, and it's got all the pictures that they have of the band. These are like some promotional pictures they did. It says Dryewater is rock. That's what the promotional pictures say. But this is a concert of them, you know, standing on stage and everything. And she was telling me that I think they got interviewed by the cops or something. I don't know. But after this concert, this guy right here standing in the front row, well, this is kind of morbid, but he murdered some people after the show. We'll just say that. And it was a big thing. That's not funny. I shouldn't laugh at that. But that's kind of a story she told me about that concert. But anyways, so I took the pictures kind of, and my friend Clement over at Psychedelic Baby Magazine interviewed Shay. He comes up with great questions and did an article on her, and I used that interview for the liner notes. So there's another, you know, promotional picture of them. This is them playing at a house gig in Charlotte. And meanwhile, there's the interviews under. There's another one. That's a great picture of the drummer. And this is like a really thick matte, so it's not glossy. It's just like a matte finish, really thick cardstock paper. That's a band photo of them. And let's see. Sitting by the tree. And then this is kind of a word for me, how I came to know the album and fell in love with it and everything. These are the scans of the original tapes. So, which I have them up here. I'll show you the tapes at the end. Stay tuned. I'll show you the tapes at the end. So, this is the vinyl, which is beautiful. Really, really, really quiet vinyl. There it is on our Noble label. This has got super quiet. We're calling this Winter Ground Ice. The hit song on the album is Winter Ground. That's their first song. It's the one that's kind of the most popular song on the album. I was racking my brain because, you know, you got to come up with a clever name for the colors. So I call this Winter Ground Ice, but it's kind of like a milky clear type of color. But yeah, this is these sound unbelievable. Really quiet. When I say quiet, I don't mean like the mix. I mean, you know, when you drop your needle on a record and you hear the hiss and the hiss in between the tracks and sometimes crackle. This formula vinyl, it doesn't have a lot of that. It sounds like no noise at all. It's so quiet. So you're not getting the interference from like a bad vinyl formula. It's like a really pure form of vinyl. So that's what I mean when I say quiet. But anyways, I couldn't be more thrilled with how this turned out. Just the quality. When you buy one, you're going to see, you know, the quality product that this is. They're going up on their website. They should be up now. And, you know, these cost a little bit more than the regular reissues. With like a regular one that we've done, this costs a little bit more because it cost me a lot to make this record. But I wanted to make it tip-top quality. I wanted there to be, in this hard rock, obscure rock space, I wanted there to be audiophile grade, because I wanted to treat this with that treatment. I wanted you guys to be able to hear it that way. So let me show you the tapes really quick. So here is the main studio tape. This is Southpaw. This was recorded at Galaxy 3 in Charlotte, or around Charlotte. It's not in Charlotte, but and this is what the original tape looked like. Beautiful. Don't want to handle it too much because, you know, it's 50 years old. And then this is, they actually recorded 2 songs at Arthur Smith Studios, which is the same studio that Underground Fire recorded at. And this is the reel that came from that session. This is the Don't Believe Your Mother track that wasn't on the album, and then Winterground, that hit, is on there. So I don't know, I'll show you that tape. Just there's pictures of that in the liner notes. And so a little behind the scenes part of the process is when they take those tapes and they mix them, you know, they did adjust some things and mix them a little bit differently, so it's a different mix than the original, and they were able to use the original tapes. So it is AAA audio straight from the master tapes, all that stuff, but they ended up putting that mix onto this tape, which this is what they do, which this is the 30 IPS Dryewater remix. So that's mixed by Matt Luthans at Blue Heaven Studios, which is in Salina, Kansas. So that's the side B with all the notes and stuff. This thing is huge. And then the other one's the side A. So anyways, that's just kind of some behind the scenes of, you know, when you making a record, that's kind of the way they do it. But I was able to be there when they cut the lacquers and see all that, and it's just very, very cool part of the process. So, you know, what we've been doing with our label, we've done Underground Fire and this. We've got probably the next one is George Brigman, Jungle Rot, and then after that will be Yes to Urfa. Probably early 2025 will be Yes to Urfa. But, you know, this is a passion project for me. It's something that I really love to do. And I love to turn you guys on to some obscure records and some records that I really like that you might not have heard of. And so it's important to me that it's done in a really good quality way. I can't tell you how many crappy reissues I've gotten and be like, man, they got one chance to present this record and they do it like this. This is garbage. So I wanted to make sure, and with all my releases, I want to make sure it's done the right way and done at really high quality. So I'm pleased to be able to say it's AAA. I'm pleased to be able to say that, you know, we did the best job we could. I don't think that you could do an album more justice than we've done this one. It's really top-notch, high-quality stuff. So super proud of it. Hope that you guys can grab a copy. And like I said, there's the clear, and then there's the black vinyl, which is a little bit cheaper. That's on the website. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.